Hiya, friends. This is a specific response, an Eshkalar original response to my old friend, the Green Lady. And if you know who she is, you're cool. So anyway, I knew a guy who was a wizard, but he lived in one of the non-magical universes. And so he was unable to be a wizard. He had all the particulars: somber, driven, focused, but without any real direction. Perfect for being a wizard. If anyone could have learned spells and spell casting and been a master at the craft, denying himself for the advancement he would gain, it was my friend. So, our friend, best beloved. So here's what happened. Living in a technical universe, there was no Harry Potter magical flying broom. Now with real vibrating action, that's a thing. There was no winged mount. But he did have a thing for sporty cars and driving too fast and drinking himself stupid. Doesn't that sound like a wizard to you? It sounds like one to me. All the other ones I've known were slots. So the problem is, this friend was living in a technical universe that had police and radar guns and breathalyzer tests and all these like non-magical things that make wizards miserable. And indeed, in the course of his existence in this non-magical, this technically dominated universe, he managed to run afoul of the official authorities on numerous occasions. See, he'd stay out all night getting drunk, getting way too drunk. And then he'd drive up the hill in the morning. Well, he'd drive up the hill, sometimes going sideways, sometimes 90 miles an hour, sometimes. And the police set up a drunk checkpoint because of him. Well, so they caught him. And they warned him, and they put him under a psychiatric care, and he went back to his life, and then he was going 90 miles an hour up the hill again sideways, and they pulled him over, or he ended up over, and they surrounded him so he couldn't get away. And they took him to court this time, and they took away his license for 6 months, and they put him under another psychiatrist's care, because I guess the first psychiatrist had fallen asleep listening to his life story. But still, the point, man, they says, well, we're going to give you this new drug. We're going to put you on a drug therapy, right? It's called, what was it? Oh, it's diazepam. And so they put him on diazepam. And they said, there's only one thing you can't do on diazepam that you can normally do. He says, what's that? They says, drink. So then he was going around in circles going up the hill in the morning because he was drinking on Valium, right? And you know what that's like. If you do know anybody that drinks, does these, blue meanies, you'll know what I'm talking about. Oh, man, people think soapers are like spreaders. Ho, ho, ho. So anyway, Bill Cosby, very bad man. So anyway, so he was drinking on Valium. So they took his license away for another 6 months, and they sent him to another psychiatrist. And that psychiatrist says, well, Officer Krupke, you've done it again. He's on the wrong medication. So they changed him from diazepam to Prozac. And between you and me, and the spy from Lolth on the wall there, I think we all know the one thing you shouldn't do on Prozac is drink, right? Because that's the drug that was the raises suicidal thoughts if you're a drinker drug. You remember this? It was a big deal in the papers. So now our friend was drinking and doing Prozac, and he was spinning up the hill and spinning down the hill and like pointed at the side of the road going, So they arrested him. They took away his license for a year this time, and they made him go to alcohol classes and a bunch of other stuff. And the psychiatrist says, well, you were drinking on the Valium and you were drinking on the Prozac. So we're going to give you this new wonder, well, it's an older wonder drug. It's called Thorazine. Absolutely, do not drink on Thorazine. Bang. So that's the last I knew about it. He was working so he could pay for the fines. He didn't go broke, I guess. Now he's retired. The police catch him again. I think that's the end. So I thought I'd give you that story. What he's doing is a form of wizardry, This is important between you and I because we know about the different forms of wizardry, shamanism and sorcery, and sympathetic magic of various sorts. But this is important. He is a sorcerer. A sorcerer is a wizard who seeks exaltation through chemical and alchemical compounds. It's a thing. So this is your old pal Eshkalar, explaining to you, my old friend, the Green Lady, a little bit about our friend, the guy that should have been a wizard, but was born in a non-magical continuum, and instead is not in balance with his environment. Om